Today is the day 22 of our programming class. So if you have to do strings, right, if you have to solve the string questions, you should know arrays topic also, because once you know the inbuilt method of arrays, then you can do the string questions very easily. Okay, so what is an array, right? I think 99% of you already know, right? But there are some people who might not be knowing. So array is a data structure. Okay, so what is data structure? Data structure is nothing but the way to structure your data in the memory. You can put the data in a linear fashion, you can put a data in a tree format. So there are many ways a data can be structured. That is only data structure. The way in which you insert an element, the way in you retrieve an element, these properties will be there for each data structure. Okay, there is something called as queue, there is something called as stack. Okay, so how they differ is just by how you insert an element and how you get an element. Only these things differ in the data structures. Okay, so array is a simple data structure now. So how it is and why it is created, right? Is, for example, let's imagine, right? Let's imagine I have two students. If I want to store the maybe marks, or let's say age of two students, how can I store? I have to told int okay, student 1 s1, right, s1 age. Instead of that s1, I can write it as a normally. Int a is equals to maybe I'll tell 15. So first student's age is 15. Then I'll tell int b is equals to second student's age is 23. Int c is equals to 33. So I can keep on doing this, right? This is the age of 3 students. What if I want to store age of 100 students? If I want to store age of 100 students, should I really manually write 100 times? No, right? I don't have to do that. Then what is the other way, right? That's why there is a concept called as arrays, where this data, whatever you are seeing, that can be stored in an array like this: 15, 23 and 33. So here the variable name is a, right? And for this array, let's say the variable name is ar. Okay, ar is one array. So how do you access 15? You just have to tell SOP, print a. If you tell, you will get 15. If you tell SOP b, you will get 23. Yes. Then in the array, how do you get an element is a question, right? To get an element, you have to know its index, same like a string only. In the string also you had an index. Yes, same thing like that. Here also there is an index, which starts from 0, 1 and 2 and so on. So if you want 15, now what you have to do is you have to tell system.out.print. You have to tell, okay, AR of 0 you have to tell. You have to tell AR of 0. Okay, you have to tell, give me the 0th element you have to tell. I hope it is clear. Okay, AR of 1 and AR of 2. So this is what is the use of the array. Okay, where we can store the data, multiple data, without even having the headache of giving what variable should I give for that. Because most of the time we will be having that confusion, what variable should I give. Here variable name is not required. You just tell AR of 0, you will get the element. Okay, now let's see, right, in the memory, how do I create one array? Okay, I know how to get one array element, I know how to get 15, but the question is, how do I create array, right? And what are the merits and demerits of an array? So what are the merits of an array? The merits of an array is fetching of data is very easy, right? Fetching of data is very easy. You can tell AR of 0, you will get that element. AR of 1, you will get that element. Yes. So what is the demerit here? The demerit is the size of the array is fixed. For example, if you created one array like this, where you stored 15, 23 and 33, 3 students is there. Then what happened is, student list, right? In the middle of a semester, one foreign guy will come and join our college. Don't you think actually the student list has to be updated? Don't you think one extra size should be increased, right? So that I can store his age also. And that will not happen in the array. Okay, in the array there is a demerit. What is that? Once the size is fixed, you can't change the size of that array. So size cannot be changed of an array. I want you to understand that. Okay, that's the biggest demerit in the array. And what is one more biggest demerit? That is, the data has to be homogeneous data. What is homogeneous? Homo means same. Okay, so it has to be homogeneous data, which means 15 is an integer, 23 is also integer, 33 is also integer, and everything has to be integer type only. If one of them is float, everything has to be float type. If one of them is boolean, everything has to be boolean type. If one of them is char, everything has to be char type. If one of them is string, everything has to be string type. I hope it is clear. Homogeneous data only, same type data only. Okay, fine. So now let's see, how do I create one array, right? Don't you think if array has to be created, one memory should be there? Yes. Array is an object in Java. Array is an object in Java. For object, where the memory is allocated? In the heap. Okay. So what you are telling now is, you are telling, you are telling new. You are telling this keyword new. Now JVM, it will get activated. It will ask a question for you. This is our heap. Okay. It will ask a question. Okay, you told you want a new memory, right? Okay, what type of data? It will try to allocate a memory. You have to tell what type of data you want to store. It will ask. You have to tell, I want to store integer type of data. Because remember, always after a new keyword, what type you have to tell. Okay, this is the thing you have to understand. After new keyword, you should always tell what type, what class you have to tell that. Dog is equal to new dog, you will tell, right? New dog. Okay, so you are telling a class, you are telling what type it is. In the same way here also, you are telling new int. You are telling what type you want the new object. New int. Then you have to tell, okay, what is the size of that? Can you tell like this now? You can tell new dog. Why? Because in the dog class you have given the information. But here you should not give these brackets. You should not give round brackets. For an array, you have to give square brackets. Simple. I hope it is clear, right? You have to give square brackets. Inside the square brackets, what you have to tell? What you have to tell is how much data you want to store. Okay, so you have to tell like this. You have to tell new keyword. JVM will ask, what type of data you want to store. You have to tell, I want to store integer type of data. Then it will ask, how much data. I will store int type of data, but how much data? I will tell 3 data. I want to store 3 data. As soon as I tell like this, okay, what will happen is one new array is created like this. A new array is created of the size what? You have told you will store 3 data. So size is 3. And if the size is 3, immediately indexes will be there 0, 1 and 2. See, I have told 3 data, right? But did I tell which data? No. Did I tell that is 15, 23, 33? I have not told that. I did not tell any data, right? I just told I will store in the future. I have told. I have not stored it yet, which means it will not leave it as empty. Okay, there is something called as default values. Default values are added. What are the default values? For integer it is 0. For float it is 0.0. For double it is 0.0. For boolean it is false. Okay, so like this. For string it is null. Okay, all these kind of things, no, you don't need to worry now. But for integer, you have to understand it's a default values are 0 and so on. For classes like dog class, string class, aeroplane class, bird class, for them it is null. Okay, null will be there for the objects. For primitive data types, what are primitive data types? Int, float, boolean, char. For them, the default values will be there. That is 0, 0.0 and false and all. Okay. So here, since it's an integer, 0 default values are added. Okay, like this. But you have to understand this array is an object now, and every object has one memory, right? Every object has one address. That address, if you ask me what's the address here, let me tell the address is 1000. Let me tell the address is 1000. Now the question is it really 1000? No, it is not really 1000. It is some hexadecimal value, some 0 F E Z, something like that. It will be there, hexadecimal value. So that will be there. That's the address. We can't see the address because it is not available in Java to look into the address. So I can't get the address, actual address. I can only get the approximate address. So that is hexadecimal value it will give me. Now this 1000, right? Don't you think if this reference I don't store, garbage collector will collect that? Yes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell here, a whatever new object is created, give its reference to AR, like this. Give its reference to AR. Now what happens is AR is a local variable, right? So in the stack, okay, in the stack, what happens? Now there is AR which is created like this. AR. This is the memory of AR. You are telling give that 1000 here, so that 1000 will come and sit here. which means AR is pointing to one array. Now AR is pointing to one array, but you have to tell what type AR it is. You have to declare that variable, because whenever AR is coming for the first time, you have to declare that variable. AR is of the type integer, you have to tell. AR is of the type integer. Okay, this is what you have to tell. But it doesn't end here. Why? Because you can tell int n equals to 5. You are writing int n for a, is 5 an object here? No. 5 is not an object. Is it an array? No. But don't think this is an array. So how can you declare? See, declaration of integer is this way, and declaration of array is also this way. It can't be true, right? How can it be true? Right? You are declaring. See, this is the declaration part. You are declaring one integer in this way. How can you declare an array in the same way? Yes, it doesn't end here. That is not the way to tell. You have to give one more thing. AR is not a normal variable. Here n, can you see n here? N is a normal variable. Is it clear? N is a normal variable. But AR is not a normal variable. It's a variable pointing to an array. Right? What dimensional array? It is one dimensional array, so I have to give one brackets like this. If it was two dimensional array, I should have given the second bracket, but it is one dimensional array. Two dimensional I will tell later in the arrays classes. So this is 1D array, so I have to tell like this. So what we have understood, as soon as you look at the declaration, now the compiler understands, yes, AR is a variable which will hold integer type of data, and it is a one dimensional array. AR is a one dimensional array. What type data it stores? Integer type data it stores. That is what you have to tell for a array. Okay, that is how to declare one array. As soon as you tell like this, I hope you have understood in the diagram that default values are added like this. Default values are added 0 0 0. Later you are telling, okay, maybe you want to store maybe 10 here. You want to store 10. If you want to store 10 in this location, what you have to do? You have to tell like this. A 10 has to be stored where? 10 has to be stored. Okay, we'll see. We'll see later what to do. But before that, let's print AR. As soon as I create AR, I want to print the AR. Let's see that. So I will go to the code here and I'll tell like this. Okay, watch here. I'll tell I want a new memory. Why? To store integer type of data. Okay, how much data? I want to store 3 data. What 3 I have not told. So default values will be added. So I'll tell give it to AR of what type of integer type. Is it a normal array? No, it's a 1D array. That's it. I want to print the AR now because default values are 0 0 0. So let me print system.out.println. Okay, let me print the AR. What is the answer? Will it be 0 0 0? Watch here. Okay. It is not 0 0 0. It is the address which you will get because you are printing AR. Right? In the diagram you watch carefully. What is there in AR? See? AR is containing the address of one array. AR is not an array. AR is containing one address of an array. Okay. So, if you tell print AR, you will be getting the address. And I have told you only in the string. If you print the address of a string, it will print you the values. When you tell string S is equals to Rama, what is there in S? S is containing the address of Rama, right? And in string, when you print the address, the actual value gets printed. That is only in the string. Other than string, you take dog class, you take array, you take any other thing. If you print reference, it will print the address only. If you tell print AR, it will not print 0 0 0 because that happens only in string. Okay, only in string you can print the values. But in other than strings, any other class other than strings, always address is printed. Okay, because for an object, always address will be printed, always the reference will be printed. So here, as you can see, that is a reference of our array. So that is getting printed here. Okay. So how do you actually print the values? If you want to print the values, you have to tell don't print AR, but go to the AR, then in that 0th element you print, how to tell. Okay. AR of 0 how to tell. That is how to do it. AR of 0. This is the way to print the array elements. Okay. I will compile. See. Can you see answer is 0? Yes, AR of 0 is 0. Then default values, those are the default values. Then AR of 1, if I tell AR of 1, right, that is also 0 only, right, that is also 0. If I compile and execute, that is also 0. And if I tell AR of 2, that is also 0. If I tell AR of 3, what is AR of 3? Exception, right? Why? Because you are telling AR of 3, you tell me here, can you see any third index here? No, there is no third index, right? Can you see AR of 3? No, it is not there. AR of 3 is not there. So array index out of bound exception. Previously when you try to access a string character, it was string index out of bound. Now it is array index out of bound exception. Okay, see, watch it carefully. Which exception it is? Array index out of bound exception in thread. Okay, array index out of bound exception. I hope it is clear, you know. So you can't tell AR of 3 and all. So you have to be careful which you access. Okay. Now before printing, what I would like to do is I can tell like this, you know. I can tell store the number 10. Store the number 10 where? Give to the left hand side variable, that is AR of 1. Okay, AR of 0 I will tell, AR of 0, 10 has to be stored. When you write something like this, what happens? 10 is stored in AR of 0 like this. Okay, that 0 is erased and 10 will come and sit here. So if you print now, AR of 0 is 10, other two things are 0 0. So if I compile and execute, it is 10 0 0. Because as soon as you made those changes, it is reflected in the array 10 0 0. How do you store the next number? That is, I can tell 30 has to be stored in AR of 1. 30 is stored in AR of 1. See, and you can do one more thing. You can again tell, you know, 20 store in AR of 1. Again you can tell, no problem. Now what happens is, since you told 30 has to be stored in AR of 1, that 0 is erased and 30 will come and sit here. Then again you told 20 where it has to be stored in the AR of 1 only. 20 has to be stored in AR of 1 only. So this 30 is erased and 20, the overwritten value, the latest value is placed there. Then you are telling here that AR of 2, right? AR of 2 is equals to 30. You can tell like this. Now what happens in the memory is AR of 2, you know, this becomes 30 now. After this I am printing AR of 0, AR of 1 and AR of 2. So I will get 10, 20, 30 as the output. Okay. Let's see. See, 10, 20, 30. Yes. So I want you to take this screenshot. Okay. Then I'll give the screenshot of the diagram there. Okay. So I hope you have taken the screenshot. Take the screenshot of the diagram. So I hope you have understood, right? So this is the way, but here there is a problem here, right? What is the problem? You know, you are telling you want a new memory, then you are manually giving, right? You are manually giving AR of 0 equals to 10, AR of 1 equals to 20, AR of 2 equal to 30. Imagine there was an array of the size of 10. Don't you think you are writing a long code here? Then what is the way where 10 values directly I can give 10 array? Okay, how to do that I will tell, but let's see one thing here. Can I write int empty? Can I write here empty bracket? No, you have to tell what size array you want. So there, see, it is telling dimension missing. Okay, what size you want, it is missing. So I hope it is clear, right? Next, you can you tell 0? Can you tell 0? What? Can you tell 0? Yes, compilation, no problem. You can tell 0, no problem. But if you tell 0, don't you think? If you tell 0, the array size is not there. Array size is 0. If array size is 0, can there be index number 0? No, if the array length is 1, the first index is 0. So there is no 0th index here. There is no first index. There is no second index because array size is 0. So if I compile, no problem, but I execute, it will tell me error. Okay. So can I tell negative number? Can I tell -1? I want a new array of the size -1. Can I tell? Okay. So compilation, there was no problem, but when I executed, negative array size exception, negative array size exception. I hope it is clear. Okay, I hope it is clear. Why? Because when you compile, it gets it's a integer type, it gets type only. Okay, compilation time, it gets type, it sees a integer type, so integer type can be there, no problem. But when you are executing, that time it gets to know, okay, what type it is, okay, integer, but what's the size? -1 is not possible, it gets to know when you are executing. When you are compiling, it doesn't see what's a number, it can't see what is a number, it can only see type. That is why if you give a different type, if you tell string here, it will immediately tell error. Why? Because string type is not allowed here. Integer type is allowed, so you give any integer. Actually, this is not valid, but compile time it doesn't get to know. It just checks that type. Yes, -3 is integer type, so it is allowed, it will think. But in the future, it will get to know it is not possible. Okay, so that is compile time and runtime exception. Okay, so that you have understood. And what can we write AR bracket this side? Yes, you can write it here. Okay, you can write it here, no problem. So if I compile and execute, I'll get the same answer. Okay, can I write int after that int AR here? Yes, you can do that also. Okay, so I hope you understood. Next we'll see. Here what I have done is I have declared and initialized in the same line. What if I have to declare in one line? Yes, this is declaration. AR I have declared, and I have to initialize in another line. Now tell me, don't you think this new int has to be given to AR? Now should I give brackets like this? Again should I tell int? No. Why? Because is AR coming for the first time or second time? AR is coming for the second time. If it is coming for the second time, why are you again telling that it is of the integer type? Why are you again telling that it is a array? Because you already told AR is 1D array of the type integer. You already told what type it is, you already told what dimension it is, so why you have to tell again? So this is the way to do it. Okay, you can initialize, declare and initialize in different lines also, and this is the way. Please, if you want, you can take the screenshot. But many ways to declare an array. Okay, so but the problem is, what if I had 10 students, right? What if I had 7 students? So in what way we can do it? Okay, we can tell like this: int AR is equals to, directly, no need to tell new int and all, directly you can give the values 1, 2, 3, 4, or let's say like this, 90, 80, right, 70, 60, yes, yeah, and 50. And if I tell like this is AR of 0, AR of 1, AR of 2, AR of 3, AR of 4. So I have to print till AR of 4. I have to print till AR of 4. Let's see. This is the way it will print 90, 80, 70, 60, 50. Okay, this is the direct way where you can insert the elements into an array. So I hope it is clear, right? It is very simple here. Please take this screenshot once. Okay, I hope you have taken the screenshot. So remember, what is s dot length? S dot length will tell you how many characters are there in the string. There is one thing in the array where if you tell a dot length, it will tell you how many elements are there in the array. How many elements? This is the first element, this is the second element, third element, fourth element, and fifth element. So there are 5 elements it will tell. Okay, so if I try to print here, okay, if I tell AR dot length, okay, AR dot length. Now the thing is, for s dot length you have given brackets. Can you see brackets here? Yes, you have given brackets for s dot length. But for AR dot length, should you give the same brackets? No, you should not give the same brackets here. Okay, you should just tell AR dot length. As of now, you can by heart this. Okay, for array, length is not a method. For string, length is a method. By heart for now. In the future classes, I will exactly tell why it is actually like that. So let's see. I will compile. Right, I will compile now. And yeah, if I execute, let's see. See, can you see the last answer as 5? Yes, it is telling the length of the array is 5. This is the way. So now, don't you think if the array length was 1000, right, or if the length was 100, I have to just copy paste this AR of 4, AR of 5, AR of 6, AR of 7 and all. Yes, we don't have to do that, right? What we can do, we know that number is starting from 0. So what I'll do is I'll write a for loop like this, where, okay, int I should start from which number? 0. Okay, you should go to 1, you should go to 2, you should go to 3, you should go to 4. Don't you think all these values, okay, 0 to 4, don't you think they are less than 5? So I can tell all these I values are less than 5. I plus plus I can tell. And here inside I can write system.out.print AR of I. Okay, this is what I can tell, AR of I. Okay, AR of I. So I'll compile, and if I execute, I'll be getting the proper answer, right? Yes. But you know, if I change the array, again my for loop has to change. That's why instead of writing 5, what I have to tell is, until there is a array length, you know, you just keep on giving the index. So AR dot length, I have to tell, instead of telling 5, you write that array length. So this is the way to print the array elements. Okay. Yes, please take this screenshot. Now this is a normal for loop, right? Now it's a time for you to understand there is something called as enhanced for loop. So what is this enhanced for loop and how to use it? Okay, let's see. Enhanced for loop is actually very simple, but it will take 2 to 3 practices for you to understand completely. How will your enhanced for loop look like? It looks like this. There is no semicolon in the enhanced for loop. So you have to understand in this way. What this enhanced for loop is, how it works is like this. Okay, you have to read it in this way. From the array AR, give one by one element to a left hand side variable, that is data. Okay, from the array AR, give one by one element to whom? Left hand side variable, like this, you know. I will tell, from the array AR, give one by one element to left hand side variable, but it is not equals to symbol here, it is a colon here, that's it. Yeah, give it to data. Now don't you think data is a variable which is coming for the first time? If it is coming for the first time, I have to declare what type variable it is. Yes, don't you think the data inside this is integer type data? The what type array it is? Integer type array. So if it is an integer type array, when you get the element from the array, it will be integer type only, right? So it is integer type data. And finally, what you have to print? You print the data. Okay, don't print AR of data, because the data what you are getting is an element only. If you are getting the element, why do you have to again tell AR of data and all? So you just have to tell like this. Okay, so how you have to read it? You have to read it as, from the array AR, give one by one element to data. What type data? Integer type data, and print that data. Simple. Copy this, you know, take this screenshot, or you can write it in the notes, which is preferable. Okay, so I hope you have taken the screenshot here. This is the attendance for loop. When I do it for 2 to 3 times, you know, that time you will get more clarity. So just practice is required here. So now the question is, right? Now the question is, how do I copy the array? Right? How do I copy the array elements? So if you want to copy the array elements, let's say like this, right? What I'll tell is, hey, give the AR content. Okay, give the AR content to whom? BR. Give the AR content to BR. Now BR is a variable coming for the first time or second time. For the first time it is coming, I have to tell it is of the integer type, and BR is a array. This is what I have to tell. And I want to print BR. How do you print BR? You have to tell, from the array BR, give one by one element to data and print that data. So just one variable I have to change. So from the array BR, I am giving it to data. So as you can see, you know, yes, you got the BR array elements. Let me change, you know, because as you can see, what has happened now, you know, let me show it to you. What has happened now is, there was one AR. Okay, there was one AR. Okay, yes, AR was there, whose address was 1000, and it was pointing to one address like this, right? It was pointing to one object. Okay, and maybe 90, 80, 70, 60, 50 was there. Then you created BR, where the new array is created, and again it is copy of that, right? So this is how to copy one array. Okay, so 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, this is how to copy one array. and BR is pointing to this new array, maybe new array address is 2000, so BR is pointing to this address, and you have written a for loop to print the BR element, so it is printing like this. Now what I'll tell is, before printing BR, after copying, but before printing, you change the BR of 0 to 10. So I am trying to change this value to 10 here. I am trying to change this value to 10. So BR of 0, what am I doing to BR of 0? I am making it as 10. Let's see. Here I'll tell, after giving the AR to BR of 0 should be 10, I am telling. It should be 10. So I'll compile and I'll execute. See, we got the output, right? So as you can see in the memory, right, what do you have here? You have the same, 10, 80, 70, 60, 50. So I hope it is clear, BR if I do. But watch here. This is not the way to copy an array. Why? Because I have made changes to BR, right? I have made changes to BR. But I would like to print the AR content. I'll tell print AR. Look at the diagram and tell me, in the diagram, is my AR value changed? No. I told BR of 0 should be 10. Did I tell AR of 0 should be 10? No, I have not told. It should be 90, 80, 70, 60, 50. But if I compile and execute, will I get 90, 80, 70, 60, 50? No. Okay, what I'll get is 10, 80, 70, 60, 50 only. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you, that this is not the way to copy an array. Why? What has happened? I'll tell you. What has happened is, you have not copied the object, you have copied the address. You are told give the AR content to BR. You think and tell me here, what is the AR content? AR content, AR is pointing to an object. Object is not copied, the address is copied, which means in the BR, what do you have now is 1000 only, because from AR you are giving it to BR. So if AR is pointing to 1000, BR is also pointing to 1000 only, which means a new array is not created. This is also pointing. So if you tell in the BR, if you tell in the BR 0th element should be changed, it is changed. And when you look at from the AR, you will get the updated array. Okay, so I think you are not understanding here. So how I can explain it to you in this way? See, for one person there are two names now, that's it. This is one object. How many objects are there? I am an object, right? And how many names are there? Yes, two names are there. Using the names I am accessing the object. See, for example, see, my parents call me maybe Dhiru. Okay, my friends call me Dheeraj. Okay, so my friends will tell hey Dheeraj, come here. I'll go to the friends. They'll tell, hey Dheeraj, open your hands. I have opened my hands. They'll take a knife and cut my hands. Right? So they have made changes to an object. They have made changes to an object using which name? Using Dheeraj name. But when I go home, don't think my parents will tell, hey Dhiru, what happened to your hand? Yes. So changes made to an object using any names is reflected using any other names. Yes. So I want you to understand that, right? Because object is only one. That's the reason. So using BR you made the changes to that object. It has another name called as AR also. So that also, there also it is reflected because object is same. Okay. So that is the problem here, and this is not the way to copy an array. Most of the beginners won't be knowing this much in detail. Okay, they will not be knowing the memory diagram. So next time I am very sure, if you understand, if you look at the arrays question, you will understand. Okay, this is a different object. This is a different object. So in that way you can think. So that is very important here. So that is not the way to copy an array. Then what's the way to copy an array? I'll tell. If you want to copy an array, you have to tell AR dot clone. Clone is a inbuilt method. You have to tell AR dot clone. Simple. So you are not now when you tell AR dot clone, you are not giving the address which is there in AR. What you are doing from the AR, you are creating a new object. Then you are giving that address. So what happens now? Because of the clone method, okay, what happens now is AR dot clone will execute this. "90, 80, 70, 60, 50. New address 2000. Definitely new address because clone works like that. Okay. After this new address is there, now you are telling BR of 0 is 10. You are telling BR of 0 is 10. So BR of 0, it is 90, right? It will change to what? 10 now. So let's check. I am printing the BR elements. So I am printing the BR elements. Did it change to 10 or not? Let's see. I'll compile and execute. It has changed to 10. But don't you think it was a new object which is changed? Which means now if I print the AR elements, now don't you think AR elements are still 90, 80, 70, 60, 50? Yes. So if I print the AR elements from the array AR, give one by one element to data, and if I print the data, right? Let's see. See, AR is not changed at all, only BR is changed because they are different object. This is the way to copy one array. I hope it is clear. You can take the heading as copy an array. Yes, take this screenshot, or you can take the notes. Okay. Now, what I would like to tell is the other inbuilt methods. Okay, the other inbuilt methods. So, what are the other inbuilt methods? Let's see. So, don't you think I am using a for loop to print? I'm using a for loop to print the element by element. I'm using a for loop to print element by element. Don't you think that is a big hectic task? Why? Because you just want to look at the array elements. If you want to just look at the array elements as it is, why you have to tell to give me array of 0, give me array of 1, give me array of 2 again and again? Why do you have to knock the door of an array? Agree or not? Every time you have to knock the door. Hey, you have to knock the door number 0, give me an array. You have to knock the door number 1, give me an array. So like this you have to do. What if the array size is 100, right? So every time, don't knock the door, don't write a for loop. In one line you can get to all the array elements. Okay? In one line you can get all the array elements. How? By using an inbuilt method. What is the inbuilt method? The inbuilt method is like this. Okay? You have to tell, you want to print the array elements of AR. If you want to print the array elements of AR, you have to tell like this. Okay? That is arrays dot to string. You have to tell, convert the array to string. You have to tell. Okay, I'll cut this. What you have to tell? You have to tell, convert the arrays to string. Which array? Till now did you tell which array? No. Now you have to tell array AR. So what you are telling? You are telling that, hey, AR is one array, right? But what I want is, I want in a string format. Why string format? Because you know string means it will print in a straight line, right? If you tell hello world, don't think hello world is printed in a straight line. Same thing like that. I want to print array also in a straight line. Then you want to convert to string. That's why this is the inbuilt method which converts one array to string. Method is only telling, you know, it converts an array to string. Which array did you tell? Did you tell it till now? No. Now you have to tell the array is AR. So if it is converting to string, don't you think you have to collect it in a variable s of the type string? Yes, simple, right? Because it is converting to string, so it will give one string. You have to store it in a variable of the string type. So I will tell string yes. That's it, you know. Let's see. I'll compile. So now I have not used enhance for loop. Now what it is telling, cannot find symbol, because I have told you only the lang package is imported. Arrays class is present in util package, so to import that. Okay, import java dot util dot arrays. Okay, arrays you have to tell java dot util dot arrays. Now understand one thing, there is a array also. Don't tell array, it is arrays. And here also, don't tell array dot toString, you have to tell arrays dot toString. I hope it is clear. So now when I compile and execute, okay, it will convert one array to string now. Don't think if it converts array to string, it will print 90, 80, 70, 60, 50 concatenated. Why it will concat? It is not a, those are different values. I hope it is clear. So how do you represent in a string format how it is a different value? By comma. As you can see, when you see the comma, you can clearly understand that 90 is a separate value, 8 is a separate value. So comma must be there. Okay. So this is how it will look when you use arrays.toString method. Okay. So this is the first inbuilt method for which you are seeing. Okay. Please take this screenshot once. Okay. Okay. So now there is a redundancy in the code, right? The thing is, you have created one variable yes, and you have printed that yes. Why so much difficulty? Directly, print. You cut this from here, because whatever this result is there, you are giving it to yes, and you are printing the yes. So directly, why can't we do like this? Yes, we can do like this. It's better to do like this. Okay, you can directly convert the arrays to string, and that string you print. So directly, I'm telling method inside a method. Okay, so toString will give one string. That string I'm printing. So again, I'll get the same output. Those who want, you can take the screenshot. Okay. So this is done, right? Now next I want to tell one inbuilt method. What's the inbuilt method? The inbuilt method is like this. How do you sort the array? That is very important. How do you sort the array? If you want to sort the array, you have to tell sort method. What you have to tell? Sort method. What you want to sort? I want you to sort the array AR. So sort is a method which accepts one integer type array variable. But don't you think I told you every method should be within a class? Yes, this sort method is inside a class called as arrays. So arrays.sort you have to tell. As you can see, using the class name I am accessing the method, which means this method is a static method. Agree? If a method is static, then you can access it using the class name. So arrays.sort it will tell. Now what will happen? The sort is a method which will sort the array AR, and after sorting, don't think you have to collect the array, sorted array. So I'll collect, where I'll collect in the integer type BR array. I'll collect it here. But is it even possible, right? Understand this thing, you can't compile. It is telling a arrays.sort is such a method which will sort the array AR and keep it in AR only. So if it is keep it in AR, why should you collect the result? No, don't collect the result, because sort is a method which sorts the AR and keeps in AR only. So what am I doing now? I have an array, I am sorting the array, I kept it an array, and I am printing that array elements using the toString method. So if I tell like this, what will happen? Let's see. I'll compile and I'll execute. See, I hope it is clear, right? So 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. This is how to sort the array. This is the inbuilt method which I have to tell you. Okay. Now it's not only for that. Let's talk about float type. So I want to create one array. So I'll tell like this. I want to store maybe double. I want to store double type array AR. Okay. So I have to give the double values. What are the double values? Right. The double values are 5.6. Okay. 5.6, comma 4.6, comma 2.2, comma and 1.4. If I tell like this, these are the double values. If I saw the double values and if I print the double values, it will look like this. Right? This is how to initialize and declare a double value. So 1.4, 2.2, 4. So it is sorted. And how do you create a char type array? That is a double type array. For char type array, you have to tell it is a char AR. And what are the characters? I will tell the character Z, then the character D, then the character A, then the character C. Okay. If I tell like this, if I compile and execute, I'll get A, C, D, Z. I'll get A, C, D, Z like this. How it is sorted? Because of its ASCII value, right? It is sorted. Characters are sorted based on their ASCII values. So ASCII value of A is 97, 99. So 97 comes first than 99. Okay. The 99 comes before than 100, and 100 comes before than 122. So Z comes last because its ASCII value is 122. That's the reason. So I hope you understood. You can take this screenshot also if you want, right? Yes, because you can sort not only integer type array, you can sort char type array, boolean type array, all these types of arrays. Okay. Yes, this is done. Now I wanted to show you one thing. Okay, what is that? The thing is, I have sorted the array, and what will happen? Okay. Okay, I have double type array, right? Yes, I have double type array. Let me give the double type array. Yes, double type array is there. As of now, I'll compile and execute. I got this answer. Instead of telling two string, what if I try to print AR? You think and tell me. Pause the screen and think. What will be the output? Right? What will be the output? Will it print 5.6, 4.6, 2.2, 1.4? Will it print like that? No, right? Why? Because you are printing AR. What is there in the AR? In the AR there is an address. So it will print one addresses here. It will print one address like this. I hope it is clear. What it will print? It will print one address. Yes. To overcome this problem, we are using the inbuilt method, that is toString. Okay, fine. So if it is for double type also it is showing address. For integer type also it is showing address. Okay. So if I write Z A, maybe D. Okay, and if I write C D. If I write something like this, and it is a character type array, so I'll write it is a character type array. So I am sorting the character type array, right? After that I am printing AR. Don't you think in the AR there is an address? In the AR there is an address. So if I tell print AR, don't think now address is printed. You are wrong. Okay, address is not printed in this case. I wanted to show you this. Okay, understand this thing. For integer type array, for double type array, for boolean type array, even for string type array, float type array, it will print addresses only. Only one thing, only for character type array, it will print the continuous character as a string only. It will show it as a string. Okay, I hope it is clear. This is one thing you have to understand. For character type array, it will not print the address. Okay, for character type array, it will not print the address. For other than character type array, you take string type array, you take integer type array, it will print address only. Okay, so why it is like that? Why? Because it is defined in such a way, we can't do anything. Okay, the creators of Java has made it like that. Now here what I'll do is, let me show it to you, because I'll create one string type array. I'll tell Dheeraj like this. Okay, and I'll tell Zaid, and I'll tell Hanuman, Jesus. So something like this I'll tell. Okay, now I have sorted the array AR, and if I print the AR, it is a string type array. Okay, so if it is a string type array, can I tell left hand side character type? No, because here also I have to tell that data whatever is there is of the type string. That is what I have to tell. Okay, data is of the type string, I have to tell. So compilation, no problem, but when I execute, see here, don't think you are seeing AR, so you will print the address here. You will print the address. Can you see the address here? Yes. So I hope it is clear, right? You are printing the address here. So only for character type array it will not print address. So what will actually happen? Now I think you want to look at the output, no? That's why let's see. We will tell arrays, not array. Okay, not array, it is arrays dot to string. So which array you want to convert to string? It is the array AR. Okay, now if I compile and execute, watch here, you will get in sorted order. But for integer, you know what is sorted. For integer, the smaller number comes first, the greater number comes last. But in string, how do you represent? A string is a smaller string or a string is a greater string. Okay, that is called as a lexicographical order. Lexicography means it is a dictionary format. Okay, dictionary format. In the dictionary, if you look, don't you think the letter with the D comes first, then the letter with the H, then the letter with the J, then the letter with the Z comes at the last? Yes. So if you sort, this is the way. You will get an interview question, maybe like this. They will give one string for you, like names of the student. You have to sort them based on their alphabetical order. Alphabetical order means dictionary order means lexicographical order. Okay, lexicographical order. So I hope it is clear. Okay, so if you want in that way, then sort is an easy method. Directly see you got the output. Okay, so I hope you are noticing. D comes first. Okay, so this is the way you can take the screenshot here. You can take the screenshot. So I hope you have taken the screenshot, right? Okay. Now this much is enough for us to understand about arrays. Okay, because once you understand this basics, Now I can go back to string and teach you more logics on the string. Okay, so I'll be deleting this. So now the question is, okay, see, this is not a direct question which they will ask, but this is that necessary step which you have to do to solve the other difficult programs. What you might have to do is, you might have to sort a string first. Okay, so let's imagine I have a string s is equals to, okay, I have b a c c b a c, okay, a c z. I have something like this. What I want to do now is, I want to sort this string. Sorting the string, how will the output? The output will be, all the a's will come together, all the b's will come together, all the c's will come together, and the z will come at the last. Don't think this is sorted now? Yes, I want to achieve this. Why? We'll see later. Because after achieving this, you can use a lot of logic here. So it's very important that we should learn how to sort a string. But is there any inbuilt method to sort a string? No. Inbuilt method is not there to sort a string, but inbuilt method is there to sort an array. So now you have to search in the Google, how do you sort, how do you convert a string to array? Because if it is converted string to array, you can sort the array, right? So to sort a string, there is steps here. Okay, sorting a string. Okay, so if you want to sort a string, what is the first step? We have to convert. Okay, we have to convert a string to array. We have to convert a string to array. Why? Why? Because after you have an array, you can sort the array. You can sort the array. After sorting an array, what will you do? After sorting an array, convert the array, right? Array to string again. Convert the array to string again. Right? Okay. So this 3 steps is very simple. So if I write a program, now your question is, how do you convert a string to array? Most of you already know. The thing is, it has inbuilt method. You have to tell, hey, take this s, change this s to character type array. You have to tell like that. You have to tell, convert this string to what? To character type array. You have to tell like this. Now when you tell like this, what will happen? Let's see. I will show the diagram to you. When you tell s, so don't think s is containing, okay, I'll draw it here. S is containing address 1000, which means s is pointing to an object where it is b a c c b a c z. This is one string, address is 1000. S is pointing to that. You are told s dot to char array, and I told you string is immutable. So you do any operations on the string, a new object is created. Now you are telling convert to char array. You are telling convert to character type array, which means this is an array where array means like this, where each of them is a character. So this is character B, character A, character C, character C, character B, character A, and so on. Each of them index is a character. This object also has an address 2000, and that 2000 I have to store it somewhere. Yes, watch here. What I have to tell now? What I have to tell is, whatever new address you have, give it to a variable called as AR. What type AR it is? Tell me, is it a string type AR? Can you see 2000? Can you see string type data inside? No, you are seeing character type data. So it is a char type array. Char type AR. It's a char type AR. Is it a 1D array? Yes, it is a 1D array. So you have to give those brackets. Okay, that's it. And this is the way to convert a string to array. It is converted to array now. After it is converted to array, right? What do I want to do? I want to sort the array, right? I want to sort the array. So just a minute, I will clear these drawings. I want to sort the array. How do you sort the array? Arrays dot sort. Which array you want to sort? Sort the array AR. You have sorted the array AR. After sorting the array AR, should I collect the sorted array? No, you don't have to collect, because sort is such a method which will sort the array and keep it in AR only. It is sorted array. Now what's the third step? Convert the array back to string. How do you convert back to string? So I can tell string t is equals to string t is equals to, okay, I can tell arrays dot to string. Yes or no? So this is the way to convert one array to string. Which array you want to convert? Convert the array AR. And finally, what is in string t, I have to print. So system dot out dot print, and then print this string t. This is not the correct program. Okay, I'll tell you. You will get to know why. So if I compile and execute, watch here. Yes, it is sorted. We agree it is sorted, right? But do you really want those brackets and all? No, which means this is not the way to convert to string. It will convert to string, but you don't want brackets, comma and all. Then what you have to do is you have to tell like this. You have to tell string t is equals to new string. You have to tell new string. Do you know that we can tell new string of Rama? I have told, right? New string of Rama. If I tell new string of Rama, don't you think that Rama string is given to t and you are printing the t? So what is the output now? It is Rama only, because sorting and all has no effect now. It is Rama because you told print t, and what is t? Your t is nothing but a new string which is containing Rama. Now this is called as a constructor. Okay, when you tell new keyword and if you write a class name and if you write brackets, this is called as a constructor. Now what is constructor? See, this is a core Java topic. Okay, you can please watch the videos of Durgasoft. But what you can by heart, those who are beginners, is like this. This is called as constructor. Okay, so what I have to give now is I have to give which array. So I will tell AR. So previously you are telling Rama, right? Convert the Rama to string. Now you are telling convert this array to string. And remember one thing, only character type array can be converted to string like this. Only character type array can be converted to string. Integer type array cannot be converted to string like this. Integer type array cannot be converted to string like this. Float type array cannot be converted to string like this. Boolean type array cannot be converted. Even string type array cannot be converted like this. Only character type array can be converted to string like this. And if I compile and execute, this is the way using what you have to do in the string constructor. You have to pass. I'll compile and execute. So I hope you are able to see, right? There was a string. We have sorted the string. How? Convert the string to array, sort the array, convert it back to string again, and we have got the output. So what's the heading here? The heading will be, right, sort the string. Okay, you can take this screenshot. Take this screenshot. Very important. Okay, very important. Okay, I hope you have taken a screenshot. Okay. Once it is sorted, so you know how to sort, right? So once it is sorted, how it will look like, let's see, right? Let's imagine I have a ready-made sorted string, right? I have a ready-made sorted string. So here, if I have a ready-made sorted string, now what can I do with it? With the ready-made sorted string, if I have A, B, C, and Z. In this ready-made sorted string, I will write the indexes, right? Index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now, how will I get to know? A has occurred how many times? I want to know A has occurred how many times. If I want to know A has occurred how many times, what mathematical formula should I use here? Right? What mathematical formula should I use here? What should I do? See, what I'm asking you is, imagine that your guest has come home on the day 25th let's say March, March 25th. Okay, he came in the morning. He stayed March 26th. Okay, then he stayed in the March 27th also. The guest stayed, and the March 27th night he went to his hometown. Okay, so if I ask you how many days he sat in your home, what will you do? Simple, right? You will tell 27 minus 25 plus 1 you have to tell. Agree or not? Because what is 27 minus 25? 27 minus 25 is 2. But tell me, did he stay for 2 days? He didn't stay for 2 days. He stayed for 3 days. That is why for this you have to add a 1 so that it will become 3 days. He has stayed for 3 days. Yes, 25th morning he came. He stayed that. 27th he stayed. 26th also he stayed. 3 days he has stayed in our home. 3 days. For example, a guest came to your home on 25th morning, and went 25th evening. Okay, 25th morning he came, 25th evening went. How much days he has sat in your home? Don't you think one day he was there morning till evening? How do you do that? 20, you have to do 25, the exit date minus the entered date. 25 minus 25 is 0. But does it mean that he didn't come to your home at all? Hey, no. That's why what you have to do, for this always you have to add 1. You have to add 1 here. So it becomes 1 day. He has stayed 1 day. Same thing like that. Okay. Here also what you have to do is, if you want to know a character has occurred how many times, if you want to know a character has occurred how many times, you have to write the last index of a character minus index of a character plus 1. How do you get a last index of a character? I have told you one method is there, no? Last index of a. How do you get the first index of a character? There is no method called as first index of, but there is a method called as index of. So using index of, you will get 0. Then you have to do last index minus first index plus 1. 2 minus 0 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. Don't you think A has occurred for 3 times? Yes. Let's see how many times B has occurred. What's the last index of B? 4. First index of B? 3. Plus 1 you have to do. What is 4 minus 3? 1. 1 plus 1? 2. Don't you think B has occurred for 2 times? Let's talk about C. What is last index of C? 7. Minus index of C? 5. Plus 1. What is 7 minus 5? 2. Plus 1? 3. Don't you think C has occurred for 3 times? Next we will see Z. What's the last index of Z? 8. Minus index of Z? 8 only. Plus 1. What is 8 minus 8? 0. Plus 1? 1. Don't you think Z has occurred 1 time? Please take this screenshot. Please take this screenshot. So I hope you have understood here, right? So it is very easy for us if we sort it, right? If you don't sort it, then what will happen? Okay, let's see. If you don't sort it, it's a very big mistake. Why? Because you can't tell. Because let's say I have B, C, Z, okay, A, C, B, something like this. And if I write the indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so what is our occurrence formula? Our int OCC, okay, let me write it here. The occurrence formula is, okay, int occurrence is nothing but last index minus first index plus 1. This is our formula now. So if I apply it here, OCC is equal to last index minus first index plus 1. What's the last index of B? Last index of B is 6. Minus what's the index of B? It is 0. Plus 1. What is 6 minus 0? 6. What is 6 plus 1? 7. Tell me, did B occur 7 times? No, right? That's why it is very important to sort the string first. Because when you sort the string, all of them will group together. Now you can tell last index and first index. I hope it is clear for you. Right? I hope it is clear. Okay. So now the question is, you have understood half of the logic. So how do you actually do it, right? So how do you actually do it? Let's see. Let's imagine that I have a string, right? A after sorting. This is all after sorting, not before sorting. B, C, and Z. Now, what logic you have to use, it's better. There are many other logics. It is better. This is an easy way where you can tell like this. I will tell there is a while loop. Okay. In the while loop, I am planning to delete all the A, I am planning to delete all the B, I am planning to delete all the C, and at the end I will delete all the Z. At the end if I delete all the characters, will the character be there? No. S dot length will be 0. So I have to tell, you have to keep on doing this while S dot length. Okay, if it is greater than 0, means what is the meaning of S dot length? There is a character. If there is at least one or more character, keep on doing this, I am telling. If it is 0 character, don't do it. So if S dot length, while S dot length is greater than 0, means if a character is there, then what you have to do? I'll tell. What you have to do is first take the first character. How do I take the first character? I'll tell S dot char of 0. If I tell S dot char of 0, this is the way to get the first character. I don't want the ith character now, because each and every time I'm going to delete these characters. So S dot char of I. I'll tell S dot char of I. So S dot char of 0, I have told that is the first character A. Where I have to store that A? I have stored it in char FC. What is the FC? FC means first character. I have stored in first character. I have stored in FC. Now, what do I want to do? Since I have the first character, I have the character ready now. I want to know what's the last index of the character. So I'll ask like this: hey, in the string S, what is the last index? Okay, what's the last index of a character? Which character? FC. FC is A now. So what's the last index of A? 0, 1, 2. You will tell 2, which is an integer. So I'll tell it as int last index means Li. Int Li. Then again I'll tell in the string yes, what is the index of? What is the index of which character? Of the A. That's the first character. FC I will tell. FC is the first character, no? So that first character I'm getting the last occurrence and first occurrence. I got the first occurrence, I'll store it in int Fi. I'll store it in Fi. So I have now Li, I have Fi. I'll tell int OCC, I'll tell the occurrence. Int OCC is nothing but Li minus Fi, last name is plus 1, that's it. I got the occurrence. As soon as I got the occurrence, what should I do? Hey, you have the character ready, you have the FC ready, FC is A. You have its occurrence also ready, you print it. You print the occurrence, right? Yes. So I hope you are understanding, right? What we are doing here, we are printing the frequency of a character. Okay, we are printing frequency of a character. This character occurred how many times and all. Okay, so I have the character ready, FC ready, I have the occurrence ready, everything is ready. You print it, I have to tell. And how do I print it? I have to tell system.out.print. Okay, I have to tell system.out.print. Print. What you have to print? I'll tell print FC string concat with what? OCC. String concat with OCC. So FC character A and its number 3 is printed like this. Okay. As soon as I print A and as soon as I print 3, tell me, do I have use of that FC? Do I have use of that A anymore? No, because I immediately got that A is repeating for 3 times. As soon as I got to know A is repeating for 3 times, don't think A's job is over? Yes, I will delete all the A's from a string. How do you delete all the A's from a string? There is inbuilt method. What is that inbuilt method? You have to tell from the string yes, replace. You have to tell replace. What you have to replace? Replace the first character with what? With empty string. So wherever first character is there, it is replaced with empty string. What's the first character? A. A is replaced with empty string. But don't you think I have to collect an yes only? I have to update my yes? Yes. That's it. Okay, this is what I have to do. So let's write a program for this, right? Yes, what I'll do is I'll write here while loop. Okay, while s dot length greater than 0. What you have to do? First you take the first character. That's your first job always. Always you take the character. So char, okay, char FC first character is equals to s dot char at of not I, it is 0 because you want to take the first character. Okay, so don't you think here as soon as I tell replace first character with the empty string, okay, as soon as I tell like that, don't you think all the first character is replaced with empty string? So index also will change now 0, 1, 2 and so on. If index changes, again what will happen? You are telling again, is the s dot length greater than 0? Yes, now again after A is removed, s dot length is greater than 0. Again, don't think you are telling give the first character. Which is the first character here? B. Yes, now B is stored to FC. You are getting the last index of B. You are getting the first index of B. You are finding the occurrence. As soon as you find the occurrence, you are printing that. As soon as you are printing that, you have no more use of B. Delete all the B. So all the B's are deleted like this. Okay. So let's see here. So this is what I have to tell. Give the first character. So I will tell int last index is nothing but in the S. What is the last index of? Okay. What is the last index of FC? I will tell. You got last index of FC. So what is the first index of FC? That I will give to Fi, first index. Then there is a int OCC. Int occurrence is nothing but last index minus first index plus 1. I have the occurrence ready, so I have to print it. So system.out.println. System.out.println. What you have to print? Print. Okay. Print the character. How do you get the character? FC plus print its occurrence OCC. This is what I have to tell. Okay. Print the character and you print its occurrence each and every time. As soon as I print the character, do you have use of that character? No. I'll tell my new s is equal to old s dot replace. Replace. What you want to replace? Replace that FC with empty string. That's it. Tell me, will it tell compilation is fine? No. Why? Let's see. because in the replace method I have told you, okay, first of all spelling was wrong, and here it should not be character type, both should be string. And how do you convert fc to string? Empty string plus fc, you have to tell empty string plus fc. So empty string plus fc, if I tell compilation, no problem, right? But when I execute, what is the problem? When I execute, I'll get a number. Why I am getting a number? Why? Because who has told you that string concatenation will happen is my question. fc is what now? fc is a character a. You have told like this. You are told SOP print the character a plus print 3. Who told string concatenation will happen here? String concatenation will not happen. Integer addition will happen, because if string concatenation should happen, one of them must be a string type. Is any one of them a string type? No. So what happens? It is a integer type. It is a char type. Which has the highest precision? Integer has the highest precision. Compiler will internally typecast this char to int. When it typecasts char to int, what happens? ASCII value of a 97 is there. 97 plus 300. I have already done this in the class. That's why I am not repeating. ASCII values are printed here. Okay. So that is why we are getting that output. So what you have to do is, first you have to tell like this. So that now empty string plus fc is a character plus string will happen first. When character plus string happens, it becomes a string character. After string, you are adding concatenating, so it is string concatenation after that. Okay. First you make it as a string, so everything is string concatenation, and this is the output A3, B2, C3, Z1. Please take this screenshot once. So I hope it is clear, right, that you should actually sort the string. Here it is not sorted. We are assuming that it is sorted. Okay, please take this screenshot. Okay, so I hope you have taken the screenshot. Okay. Very simple program, right? Very simple program. Okay, but the question is, print, what you have to do? Print frequency of characters. The question is print frequency of characters. In the string. Okay, print the frequency of characters in the string. So we have to take input from the user, right? So now let's see how to take input from the user. Okay, so this is manual I have given, and see, please be very careful. I have actually sorted the string, but user will not sort a string and enter, right? So he will enter something like this. He will enter bananas, right? He will enter bananas like this. Now you tell me, right, B is occurring one time and A is occurring for 3 times. But here you can notice, it's telling A is occurring for 5 times. Is A occurring for 5 times? No, right? Definitely not. So that's why what you have to do first. First you have to sort the string, right? And for that you have to understand. So that's why let's take on string T here. Okay, let's take on string T, and I'll tell how do you sort a string T. First you have to convert to array. So you will tell convert the string T to char type array. Convert the string to char type array. After it is converted to char type array, now I will store it in char type AR like this. After this, I have to sort the array. Arrays dot sort. You have to remember, you have to import for this. You have to import which array you want to sort. AR. Should I collect it? No. It will sort the array. Keep it in AR. Then I have to tell something like this. String s is equals to new string. Okay. String s is equal to new string. In the bracket I will tell AR. In the bracket I will tell AR. Now once you got the sorted string yes, on that yes you have to do all this programming. Okay, you should not do it on the T. You should not do it on the T. So if I compile and execute, now there is a string T. I have sorted. So now I'll get in a proper order. Agree? I got in a proper order. So how do you take input from the user now? I can tell scan dot next line or scan dot next. I can tell, which means I have to create a scanner class. So I'll tell scan is equals to new scanner, right? New scanner, and here I'll tell system dot in, I have to import scanner, right? I have to import scanner. So here I will tell java.util.import scanner. That's it. But the problem is I have compiled, okay, and when I execute, it is blinking. I don't know what it wants, right? I don't know what it wants. That's why appropriate message should be printed. I have to tell like this: system out dot println, okay, system out println. What I have to print a message, I have to tell a user, what I have to tell a user, what I have to tell, enter a string y, so that we can print its occurrence, okay. So when I compile and execute now, it will tell me, right? Okay. I will execute. See, a user enter a string so that we can print its occurrence. I will tell bananas. It will tell like this. So please take this screenshot, right? Take this screenshot. So this is the complete program. Okay, this is the complete program. Okay. Now the question is not, the question will change it. I will modify a little bit now. You want to print in a straight line. What you want is, you want A3, B1, N2. Okay. And you know one thing, I don't have to even tell this, but can you see here A is coming first and 3 is coming later? What if you want 3 first and A later? Which means instead of A3, you want 3A. Instead of B1, you want 1B. Instead of N2, you want 2N. Then I don't even have to tell this, but you know that occurrence should come first, then FC should come. If I interchange that, then I'll get the interchange in the output also. So instead of printing A3, now it will print 3A. Okay. It will print 3A, 1B. I hope this was clear for you. So now what I want to tell you is, how do you print in the same line? So what I will do now is, I will string concat to a string called as result. So what am I doing now? I will be creating one string res. I will be creating one string res is equal to empty string. Why empty string? I don't write empty character. Okay, see, this is the problem which most of you might be doing. How can you store a character type in a string type? So not possible. Empty string in the result. I hope you remember, sum is equal to sum plus I, t is equal to t plus caret of I. What we are doing there? We are concatenating, right? We are concatenating. Same thing I want to tell here. What I will tell now is, don't print directly. I will tell stored in the result. Result is equals to result plus OCC plus FC. This is what I will tell. And after the while loop is done, at the end I will print system.out.print result. I will print like this. In this way I can concat them together. Okay. And what happened here? Okay, here there is a closing bracket. Okay. Let me tell you what is happening, right? See, it is printing in the same line. Okay. So I think this will not look good. First FC should come, first the character should come, then the occurrence should come. Okay. So what is happening here? Is, first what is there in the result? Empty string is there in the result, right? Empty string plus FC becomes a string A. String A plus 3 becomes string A3. So what do you have? You have string A3. Where have you stored string A3? In the result. So your result will become string A3. Next time when you add again, what is in the result now? It is not empty string. It is string A3 plus string B2 is added. So I hope you understood. So each and everything is concatenated. Okay. Instead of printing, I am concatenating. Simple. That's it. So this is the program. You can maybe take this screenshot also. So you can take this screenshot. Okay, I have to compile, right? So see, yes, please take this screenshot. Take this screenshot if you want. Now the question is like this: print those characters which has occurred exactly 3 times. Print those characters which has occurred exactly 3 times, right? Which means what should I do now? Okay, I'll undo this. Okay, I'll undo. I'll not create a string result. Yes. So this was our previous program, the first program. What we had done in the first program, in a new line I was printing, that a enter string bananas A3 B1 N2 C S1, right? Now what I'll tell, hey, don't print this each and every time. I'll cut this. I'll tell only if some condition is true, then only you print that value. What condition? Only if the occurrence is equal to 3. Only if the occurrence is equal to 3, then only you print the value. Now you watch here. Okay. For each character it will check is the occurrence 3 or not. If I tell it is bananas, see, only A3 is printed. But you don't want A3, right? You don't want that 3. You want only the character to be printed. If you want the character to be printed, why you have to tell OCC that? Because the question is print that character which has occurred 3 times. So if I compile and execute, watch here. If I compile and execute, I am printing that character which has occurred 3 times. Okay, here B also has occurred 3 times, A also has occurred 3 times. I hope you have understood. Okay, so what will be the question here? Print those characters, okay, which occurred 3 times. Which occurred 3 times. So I hope it is clear, right? It is very simple program. You just have to understand the basics here. That's it. Okay. So if I execute, okay, and the answer is A. Okay. So you please take this screenshot. I hope you have taken the screenshot, right? Next. The question can change. Print those characters which has occurred 2 or more times. So what should I tell here? If the occurrence is greater than or equals to 2, right? If the occurrence is greater than or equals to 2, print that. So question is print those characters which occurred 2 or more times. This is the question now, right? Simple. Which are the characters which occurred 3 or 2 or more times? And if I execute, if I tell bananas, okay, you can see B has occurred only 1 time, S has occurred only 1 time, but A has occurred 2 or more times, N has occurred 2 or more times. Okay, so this is the character which has occurred 2 or more times. Please take this screenshot. I hope you have taken the screenshot, right? Yes. So the next question is print those characters which has occurred exactly 1 time. If OCC equals to 1, yes, you just have to modify a small program, small code. So I can tell if OCC equal to 1, that character is occurred only 1 time. And if I write bananas, don't think B and S are the characters which occurred 1 time. Yes. So if you want the characters which occurred only 1 time, you can do in this way, or you can do in another way which I taught you. What did I teach you in the previous class? I taught you if a character's last occurrence and first occurrence are same, it's a character which is repeating only 1 time. If the last occurrence of first occurrence of S is same, then that is a character which occurred only 1 time. That logic I taught you, and this is a different logic here. Okay, so I hope you have understood here. Just you look at this, you can do any kind of program. They can twist a little, so you have to understand these basics very clearly. And only this changes here, And as you can see, we are getting the output, right? If I write bananas, I am getting B and S in a new line. But what if they want in the same line? You can do one thing. You can remove print ln. And you can write this, only this much. Where print means in the same line printing will happen. That's why B and S. Okay, if I compile and execute, B and S will be printed in the same line, as you can see. But the question might be different, because after this result, you might have to give this string to some other method. You have to do complex programming. In that case, you have to store it. That's why whatever you are printing, stored in string result. Result is equals to result plus fc, stored in result. And after the while loop is printed, system.out.println, okay, print that result. This is one more way where I can create a new string result. This is one more way to do it, okay, where you're concatenating. You're not printing now, you're concatenating so that in the future you can print it. Okay, so I hope it's clear, right? B and S. So for today's class, this is it. Okay, this is it. In the future classes, we will see print that character not 3 times or 2 times, which has occurred maximum times. Okay, which has occurred maximum times. Which means if I execute this, right? If I tell execute and if I write something like this, you know, I can tell print those characters 3 times. So 3 I can give manually here. 3 I can give manually. So the question is, how do I dynamically change the max value? How do I tell a character which has occurred maximum times? All these things are a little complicated, which you will see in future classes. Okay. So what I want to do now is, today you just practice this thing. Okay. Why you have to sort, how you have to sort, for which programs you have to sort, how to get the occurrence. If you want to the occurrence, last index minus first index plus 1 you have to do. All the things, these are the small logic which you have to remember. So I hope this session was really helpful for you. You understood a lot of things here, and I will see you in the tomorrow's class.